Do you tend to miss the ball off the toe? If you do, listen up, because you're missing one simple point about the golf swing, and that is understanding pivot points. There's lots of pivot points in the golf swing, but the one we're going to talk about today is your left shoulder if you're a right-handed golfer. This left shoulder is going to be the primary dictator of where the club bottoms out in the ground when you take your divot, and also if this shoulder is moving through the hitting area, you're going to wipe across the ball. So let me show you what that looks like. So with my shoulder moving, right, let's say I set up like this, and now as I've been taught to rotate my chest through the hitting area, like so many golfers are incorrectly taught, turning my chest, how would the club get back to the ball? Because my left shoulder is now several inches further away from the ball than it was where it started. So now I've got to try and make some sort of compensation as my left shoulder's pulled away to get the club all the way back to the ball to not miss it off the toe. The obvious solution is, why would you want your shoulders open at impact and change all the angles that you set up at address? Now, of course, impact and address are never the same, but your pivot points, these fixed points in space that directly impact what the club is going to do, are critical. They do need to return close to the same place that they were at address, or you're going to keep whacking it off the toe. If I bring my shoulders down using my legs and keep my shoulders closed and let the club get back out in front, how would I ever miss this off the toe? The only way I'm going to miss that ball off the toe is doing this. So all of a sudden, my shoulder, my pivot points are moving in the swing, and that is what's causing you to whack it off the toe. If you're tired of hitting these weak shots that don't go anywhere off the toe, you have to understand what this shoulder needs to do and how it gets moved during the downswing so that you can start getting the ball in the center of the club face. And I have a video on this called Moving the Fulcrum. Really, I should have called it Moving the Pivot Point, but the fulcrum also applies to what we're talking about today. So I want you to take a look at this bonus video. Click the iCard or the little icon you see here or the link down in the description. And I'm going to take you to see this bonus video. It's going to show you how to get your club back in the center, the ball back in the center of your club face. Make sure you click subscribe down below and click that little bell next to it, and you'll get notified every time we publish a new video on YouTube. If you struggle with inconsistency in your golf swing, listen up, because I'm going to show you one thing that you've probably never ever heard before. And in fact, if you're taking golf lessons, there's a good chance that your instructor is actually teaching you to do it wrong, that's making it virtually impossible for you to play consistent golf and hit your irons consistently in the same spot and get them to go the same direction. What is this concept? I call it moving the fulcrum. When you think about it, think about a grandfather clock for a second. A grandfather clock has a fulcrum at the top, and then it swings on a very slight arc, right? Goes up, going back, down, bottoms out in the exact same spot every time, and then comes up in the same spot, and it never misses the bottom of its swing arc, does it? Now, if you think about it, that's the whole secret to iron play, is getting the club to bottom out in the exact same spot, in the exact same way, every single time. That's all iron play is. If you can do that, golf's really simple. However, what would happen to my grandfather clock in the bottom of its swing arc if I started moving its fulcrum or its pivot point? So right now I'm going to keep it constant, pretty constant as I can keep my hand here. And now I'm going to move it. Oh man, club hasn't bottomed out in the same spot once, or maybe every now and then I get lucky and I get it to bottom out in the same spot. And how many times I do that? Maybe 1 out of 20? Sound like your golf swing? If so, listen up, because I'm going to teach you this concept you've never heard about keeping your fulcrums staying in the same spot so you can be the best iron player that you possibly can.